It's 1,350. The air hits you, thick with wood smoke, damp earth, and the faint whiff of livestock. You're a peasant, bone-tired, standing in a muddy village far from any castle or crown. Easter's creeping closer. But hold up, this isn't the Easter you're thinking of. No chocolate eggs. No pastel bunnies hopping around. So how did people like you, poor, gritty, and overlooked, mark the holiest day of the year? Stay with me, because what's coming might just shock you. It's not all quiet prayers and halos. Welcome to medieval Europe, say the 14th century. Life here? It's no fairy tale. You're a peasant, one of millions tied to the land. Dawn to dusk, you're breaking your back, plowing fields, hauling grain, all while the Lord's tax collector hovers like a vulture. And the church? It's everywhere. That stern priest in the village square isn't just preaching salvation, he's watching your every move. Now imagine this, Lent's been dragging on for 40 days. No meat. No cheese. No scraps of joy. Your meals? Thin, watery porridge that barely fills the hole in your gut. Your kids are whining, your hands are raw, and the priest won't stop droning on about sin. You're not just hungry, you're starving for something, anything, to break this grind. Easter's coming, though. And it's not just another sermon. For you, it's the biggest break of the year, a lifeline in a world that's trying to crush you. It's your light at the end of this miserable tunnel. All right, let's step into the madness of Holy Week, the 7 days before Easter that turned your quiet little village upside down. After weeks of Lent's gloom, this wasn't just a slow wind-up to Sunday. No, this was intense, chaotic, and buzzing with something you could feel in your bones. It kicks off with Palm Sunday, and trust me, it's not the polished parade you might imagine. You're trudging behind the priest, clutching a bundle of twigs. Sorry, no lush palm fronds in muddy England or freezing France. These are your palms, scraped from the nearest hedge, waved high as you shout hosannas with the others. It's rough, it's makeshift, but it's yours, and it feels like the whole village is waking up from a long, cold sleep. Fast forward to Good Friday, and the mood flips hard. The air's heavy, somber, like the world's holding its breath. You're in the church, packed shoulder to shoulder with neighbors, all staring at the rough wooden cross the carpenter threw together. No one's talking. The priest chants in Latin, words you barely understand, about Christ's death, and you're supposed to feel the weight of it. Some folks weep, others just shuffle their feet, but there's this eerie stillness that creeps under your skin. Night falls, and the vigils start. You're huddled outside with a flickering candle, the wind biting at your face, whispering prayers to keep the darkness at bay. Because here's the thing, some say the spirits are restless now, stirring in the shadows until Easter morning comes to chase them off. The church bells clang at sunrise, and just like that, Lent's chains are broken. Easter Sunday hits your village like a thunderclap of joy. After 40 days of nothing but gruel, the air now hums with the smell of roasting meat, maybe a rare bit of lamb or pork, if the village scraped together enough. You're not eating like nobles, with their fancy spices and sugar. No, this is peasant food, hearty, honest, and so good it feels like a miracle after weeks of hunger. The whole village gathers in the square, tables groaning under the weight of everyone's offerings. The miller's brought crusty bread, the widow's got her thick barley stew, and someone's passing around jugs of ale that loosen every tongue. You spot a pile of eggs, hard-boiled, dyed red with onion skins to mark Christ's blood. Eggs are a luxury you've barely touched since winter, and you grab one, cracking it against your brother's with a grin. It feels like holding gold. The first bite is bliss, rich, creamy, a taste of life itself. You're not just eating, you're feasting, shoulder to shoulder with neighbors who've turned from weary shadows into a loud, laughing family. Someone starts singing, off-key but bold, and mugs clink in messy toasts. For once, you're not just surviving, you're alive, your belly full, your heart fuller. This isn't just food, it's hope, shared and savored. And as the sun climbs higher, that energy's bubbling over, ready to spill into something wilder, games, dances, and traditions you'll never forget. The feast has you buzzing, your belly full, and Easter's not winding down, it's just getting started. Forget solemn hymns for a minute, the peasants knew how to turn this holy day into something rowdy and downright fun. Picture yourself out in the fields, clutching one of those precious red eggs. Someone shouts go, and you're rolling it down a hill. Egg rolling, they called it, a game to bring luck for the year ahead. The kids are shrieking as they smash into each other, yolk splattering everywhere, and you're laughing so hard you nearly trip over your own feet. It's silly, sure, but after months of grinding work, this feels like freedom. Then there's tug-of-war, and it's no gentle pull. You're yanking on a rope with your cousins, mud slick under your boots, everyone hollering as the other side stumbles into a ditch. Some villages even break out wooden swords, mock battles where you swing at your mate like you're a knight, not a plow pusher. It's chaos, but it's your chaos, and every bruise comes with a grin. The energy's contagious, and soon you're swept into the real wildness, dancing around a roaring bonfire. The flames leap high, sparks popping, and you're spinning in a circle, hand in hand with neighbors, ale still warm in your veins. This isn't just Christian joy, there's something older here, a whisper of pagan spring rites creeping in. The church hates it, calls it sinful, but out here, with the firelight painting your face, you don't care. The priest can frown all he wants, tonight, he's not the boss. Speaking of bosses, some villages take it further, they crown an Easter king, oars full to rule the fun. Imagine your best friend, that loudmouth who's always joking, suddenly wearing a wreath of straw, waving a stick like it's a scepter. His barking orders, dance faster. Fetch me more ale. And you're doubled over laughing as he struts around like the lord of the manor. For one night, a peasant gets to play king, and it's a rare, sweet taste of power in a life where you're usually the one bowing. Everyone's in on it, cheering him on, and the rules of the world flip upside down. This mix of games, dances, and old traditions isn't just play, it's defiance, it's release, it's a chance to be human after months of being a cog in someone else's machine. Every tumble down the hill, every twirl by the fire, feels like shaking off the weight of winter and Lent. And as the night wears on, you realize every village does this a little differently, little quirks and customs that make your Easter yours. The fun's not over yet, either, it's about to get even weirder. The fire's dying down, the dancing's slowed, but Easter's still got a few tricks up its sleeve. Every village had its own strange little traditions, quirky habits that made their holy day feel like home. In some places, you'd grab your neighbors and start pacing the church. Not inside, mind you, just walking its perimeter, step by careful step, like you're drawing a magic circle around it. Why? To bless the fields, they said. You're trudging through the mud, muttering prayers under your breath, hoping this'll coax the barley to grow tall and keep starvation at bay. It's odd, sure, but when your life hangs on the harvest, you'll try anything. Then there's the well tossers, folks who'd snag herbs the priest blessed on Easter morn and chuck them into the village well. A splash, a ripple, and suddenly the water's supposed to heal your aches or fend off fever. You're skeptical, but you still dip your cup a little deeper next time. Things get weirder on Easter Monday with the lifting games. Picture this, your cousin sneaks up, grinning like a fool, and before you know it, he's hoisted you into the air. You're flailing, laughing, while everyone around you howls, men lifting women, women lifting men, all part of this bizarre ritual to shake off bad luck. You're up there, wind in your hair, feeling lighter than you have in months, and when your feet hit the ground, it's your turn to grab someone else. The whole village turns into a giggling, stumbling mess, and for a moment, the world's not so heavy. It's silly, it's random, but it's yours. Then there's the egg hunts, yes, egg hunts, centuries before pastel baskets and candy. In a few villages, someone like the baker would swear he'd hidden a stash of those precious red eggs, maybe behind the barn or deep in the brambles. You're off, racing with the kids, thorns snagging your tunic, until you spot one nestled in the grass. You hold it up, triumphant, while the baker winks like he's some grand trickster. It's a game, a treasure hunt, and it feels oddly familiar, like a thread stretching all the way to today. These traditions weren't just fun, they were faith twisted up with survival. Pacing the church for crops, blessing wells for health, lifting away misfortune, it's all hope, wrapped in the strangest packages. Your cousin's still laughing, egg in hand, and you realize this is your Easter, wild, weird, and stitched into the soul of your village. The games are over, the last egg's been found, and the bonfire's just a pile of glowing embers. You're standing there, catching your breath, belly full for the first time in weeks, surrounded by your muddy, laughing village. Easter's winding down, but it's not just another day fading into the past. For you, a medieval peasant, this wasn't some frivolous party, it was survival, pure and simple. Winter's been a beast, clawing at your doorstep with frost and hunger. Lent piled on, stripping away what little you had left, meat, milk, any scrap of comfort. By the time Easter rolls around, you're not just tired, you're hanging on by a thread. But now? The fields are waking up, green tips poking through the dirt. The sun's lingering a little longer each day. Easter's promising you something, crops will grow, the cold will loosen its grip, and maybe, just maybe, God hasn't forgotten you down here in the muck. This day's more than prayers and priests, though. It's a rare taste of abundance in a life that's usually nothing but scarcity. You're not eating alone today, you're shoulder to shoulder with people who've got your back, the miller who shared his bread, the widow who stirred that stew, the neighbor who lifted you high and laughed off the bad luck. This is community, forged in the fire of hard times, and for once, it feels like enough. You're not a king, not even close, but today you feasted like one, danced like the world's yours, and held hope in your hands as real as that red egg you cracked open. It's fleeting, sure, tomorrow's back to the plow, but right now, it's everything. Look closer, and you'll see threads of this stretching all the way to today. Those eggs you hunted? They're the great-great-grandparents of the ones kids chase now, hidden in backyards or tucked under bushes. The feasts, the spring vibes, the way we celebrate renewal, it's all got roots in this muddy village square. Easter's changed, polished up with chocolate and bunnies, but at its core, it's still about shaking off the dark and believing in what's coming. For you, it was crops and survival. For us, it's a little softer, but the echo's there. You and your neighbors didn't just throw a party, you built something that's lasted centuries, something we're still holding onto without even knowing it. So as the fire dies down, you glance around at these faces, rough, weathered, but alive with something fierce. It's not much, this ramshackle village, but it's yours. Easter gave you that, a spark of hope to carry through the grind ahead. And maybe it still does, even now, whispering through time that after every winter, there's a dawn. These peasants, with their egg rolls and bonfires, their lifted laughs and blessed wells, weren't just surviving, they were planting seeds for us. Their legacies in every spring step we take, every meal we share. They mattered then, and in a quiet way, they still do. So what's next? Stick around, I've got more stories from this wild medieval world to share. Well, there you have it, medieval peasants didn't just celebrate Easter, they turned it into something wild, heartfelt, and totally their own. From pacing churches to tossing herbs, lifting each other high, and hunting eggs in the bushes, they took a holy day and made it a lifeline, a messy, joyous shout against the grind of their lives. We've walked through their muddy villages, tasted their feasts, spun around their bonfires, and seen how they stitched hope into every quirky tradition. It's not the Easter we know, with its shiny wrappers and sugar highs, but it's raw, real, and somehow still alive in the way we celebrate today. So, what do you think? If you could step back to 1350, would you be cracking red eggs at their feast, or kicking up mud in a bonfire dance? Maybe you'd be the one crowned Easter fool, bossing everyone around with a straw wreath and a stick. I want to hear it. Drop your pick in the comments below. Tell me what surprised you most, or just say hi, I read every word. And hey, if this dive into medieval madness taught you something new, maybe how egg hunt started or why they danced despite the priest's glare, give that like button a tap. It's a little signal to me that you're loving these trips back in time, and trust me, it keeps the fire burning to bring you more. Speaking of more, you're not going anywhere yet, right? Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, there's a whole world of medieval secrets waiting for us to uncover together. One click, and you're part of the crew, ready to raid history with me every week. Oh, and don't forget the bell, turn it on so you never miss a drop. Next time, we're swapping the peasant's plow for a knight's sword. That's right, we're diving into how knights actually fought in battle, no fairy tale jousts here, just the gritty truth of steel, sweat, and survival. It's going to be a wild ride, and I want you there for it. This Easter story's done, but the journey's just heating up. These peasants gave us a legacy of hope and hustle, and I'm here to keep digging up their tales, and the tales of everyone else who shaped this crazy medieval world. So, like, comment, subscribe, let's keep this going. I'll see you in the next one, ready to storm some castles or maybe just roll some eggs. Until then, stay curious, and take care.